Welcome to the cabin. For today's quick hobby tip, we're working with resin. While plastic miniatures are very common today, resin models are still being made by Games Workshop, Warlord Games, and many others. This material has been around for decades and is cast in silicone molds. Resin is great at reproducing very fine details, and since the molds are flexible, you don't have to worry about undercuts, allowing for larger and very complex designs to be cast as single pieces. I really like resin models, and in today's video I'll show you how I prep and build these kits. It's a good idea to start by checking that all of the components are present. Unlike with plastic sprues, resin pieces are usually cast individually, so just check the instructions and make sure everything is there. You should also check for any miscast parts, where the resin has not filled the mold properly and has resulted in lost details. In my experience, these problems are quite rare, but if it happens, contact the miniature company and ask them for help with replacing the missing or miscast parts. Now we get to the preparation stage. Each part is usually attached to one or more casting gates, where the resin was poured into the mold. Small ones can be removed with hobby clippers. But don't use your expensive Japanese ones that are only made to be used with plastic. Bigger gates require a razor saw, and remember to also wear a mask when sawing and sanding, since you don't want to breathe in any resin dust. Using a hobby knife, I then clean up the excess. You can also use modeling files of various shapes, and if you want to get it really smooth, finish off the area with sanding sponges. To save time and also to reach tricky areas, I'd recommend using a rotary tool like an electric nail polisher. All of these tools can also be used to remove any flash and visible mold lines from where the silicone mold was cut. I use an ultrasonic cleaner with some washing up liquid to remove any mold release agent that might still be there. This is an important stage since any residue might prevent paint and glues from sticking to the surface of your parts. An old toothbrush also works well for this. Sometimes parts can be warped, and to fix this you can use some warm water or a hairdryer to make the resin pliable, before bending the part back into shape and letting it cool down. With all the parts cleaned up, it's time for assembly. I usually go for super glue, but for heavier pieces I either pin them together with some brass rods or use a bit of epoxy glue. I've found that the ones that come in syringes often harden over time, so I've started using these individual tubes instead. These can have a longer setting time, so I sometimes apply epoxy glue to one area of the part and super glue to another. Just make sure not to mix the two glues. This way I don't have to wait too long, but still get the extra strength of the epoxy. With miniatures that come with weapon options, you might want to magnetize these. Resin can be drilled with a pin vise or electric drill, and the magnets can then be attached using super glue. Sometimes you end up with gaps between parts that need filling. I usually use green stuff on infantry and monsters, since it's easy to sculpt this putty to match the details. The same goes for any air bubbles that have been caught in the resin. For vehicles or other models with flat surfaces, I prefer using milliput. This putty is a bit harder to sculpt, but can be diluted with isopropyl alcohol to fill the gaps nicely. Once cured, the milliput sticks to the miniature like glue and can be sanded down to a perfect smooth surface. Now you can undercoat the resin model and paint it in the same way as any other material. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. If you want to go that extra mile and get some nice perks while helping us out, all our links are in the description below. We'll see you next time. Good luck with your miniatures.